And we're looking where? At each
We're
other?
looking at each other. And this is
Engaging
actually
each
going
other.
to be, we're talking to our audience. So this is an up close and personal, behind the scenes story of where Thank You came from. And I think it's important to discuss how it all came about. This is a really special song. Recording it today, how many times did I cry? I mean, this is something that really touched us. Jason O'Brien sent me the script for From Grief to Gratitude, and wonderful organization Bianca's Kids came out of this as a result of the tragedy, and we feel very blessed to be a part of this project. I called up Bob and said, Bob, I'd really love to bring you in on this song, and he jumped at it. When did we write it? Do you remember?
We wrote it. It was on Good Friday last year, 2016. It was a day we each had off from our other things that occupy our time and put food on the table, and it was a nice quiet time, a time to reflect about what's important. And I love Debbie's book, and of course that deals with the loss of someone young, and it resonated with me when I was a kid. There was one of my playmates in my neighborhood. I was in grade school, and we were playing tag, and he tripped and fell on a curb, and the next day he was dead. You know, at a young age, you're dealing with the death of a playmate. Time was going on, and you know, the decades have gone by, and I've gotten older. I've seen people seemingly always younger than me who pass away in an untimely way. I just reflect on the unfairness of it at times.
It is unfair. If you're wondering what the snorting is, Cyrus is below us picking his feet. So, this is the beauty of, we're doing a GoPro in Bob's house, in Severna Park, and Cyrus is down here picking his feet. So maybe we could pick up Cyrus.
Here, let's
and
meet
Cyrus could be a part of the video.
This is Cyrus. This is my buddy, who is not camera shy.
Well, he adds a light tone to this, There's always a story behind the song, and one of the things that really came to mind for me writing this song was the passing of my mom. And so really the second verse, that is me. I wish I had another morning, to share a memory with my mom, to laugh. She's gone, people pass, it's our life. It's what happens. If you don't die, you see people die. My best friend's father passed, and so there's a lot of people that come in to this for me. Wayne and Paul, my mom, my husband's mother, my husband's brother. In our lives, so many people pass, and you're left with this thing, like Debbie said in her documentary. She was just like, what do I do with this? Now what do I do with this grief? Well, what Debbie did with it is she started a foundation called Bianca's Kids, which it's like it's wonderful. They've already provided I'm guessing, but I think it's 20,000 wishes granted to children.
It's a big number.
It's wonderful.
It's more than I can count.
So, we're blessed to write the story. Thank you for the documentary, and hope to move the foundation and help them however we can with our song.
When we were working on it, as if it really wasn't work. There are days, as you well know, in the writer's room when you bang your head against the wall and you think nothing's ever going to come. This was not one of those days. This was a day where God reached down with a gift. For me that day, I don't know, I told you about this when you came over the house to write, because I was sort of channeling emotions about a very close friend of mine. She's 10 years younger. She and her husband have been a big patron of my music and hosting house concerts over the years. And she was a force of nature, and in fact herself was very engaged with a charity for a young girl who had died young, and so my friend's name's Kim, and so Kim had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which has about a 5% survival rate on a good day, and she was battling that, and so as much as I hoped against hope, I knew her days were numbered, and so I thought a lot about her emotionally when working on the chords and the music to
And the
this.
chords are beautiful, by the way.
And reaching to places that I don't normally go when I'm writing country songs or whatever. You have a more limited chord palette, and here I was.
1-4-5.
Yeah, so I was excited to go into new territory here and places that I don't visit that often. And Kim died shortly after Thanksgiving, but I got to play our demo of this song for her with your lovely voice on it and my piano playing while she was on her deathbed, and she was in a place of peace, and she just closed her eyes and just absorbed it, and I felt our music had come full circle at that point.
That's the power of music, and so we wanted to tell you the story behind the song Thank You, and why it meant so much for us to put it together for Jason O'Brien and Debbie Saviano. Is that how you say her last name?
I pronounce it differently every time I say it. Sorry, Debbie.
But thank you for bringing us in on the song.
Yes, thank you so much.
We feel blessed. And Debbie says she can't wait for us to fly us out to a film festival so we can perform it. We're ready for that. But thank you for the honor for allowing us to.
It's been a privilege. And Debbie, thank you for that wonderful book. And Jason, thank you for the wonderful documentary based on the book. A great opportunity for us, and I think for the world at large to share in Bianca's story and share in